Greetings everyone, Corky here, and welcome to a video that I cannot guarantee will not end in a brutal crash. I'm taking you back to the year 1975 to show you F1's engineering heyday, when teams weren't afraid to do crazy shit like this. Your eyes don't deceive you, that's 6 wheels with 6 tires affixed to them. Completely ridiculous, completely impractical, but I still wanted to drive it because why not? And we are joined by a bunch of other cars. These ones have 4 wheels, because the rest of the teams were not doing crack, and we've lined up on the back of the grid at Interlagos. Also, historically accurate, this is 1975 Interlagos, and I will leave where you can find both mods down in the description for free. Don't have much else to say? Let's just dive into the history books and get into it. I'll give you a quick opportunity to listen to these revs. And now we just want to put it up to about half throttle, clutch fully in, shifted into first, slowly let off the clutch. No need to make too many moves on the AI, although they are very slow off the start, as they always are, so we might as well build a slight buffer behind us as we dive into turn 1. Modern Interlagos turn 1 kind of has like this chicane-like thing in it. It's a little slower, but geometrically speaking, it's not too dissimilar as we make the inside up on one of these cars. And now we're onto this straight. This circuit is going to look pretty familiar in some parts and less so in others. We are stuck banging against 5th gear, however. We don't have a 6th, which is kind of a shame. And we're going to see if we can outbrake the AI coming into this corner. No, we can't. This is very similar to modern day Interlagos, except... Oh, hello. Right. We didn't have the halo back then. I would have died if that had happened to me, but I didn't. We're fine. Now, this is where the circuit gets a little bit funky. Normally, it's a double right-hander from here, up the hill, but instead we have this long sweeping left as we go further into the infield. We've got John Watson in front, as well as none other than James Hunt, so we're going to see what we can do. Another interesting thing to note about this era is, well, as much as we like complaining about balance in modern F1, with the rocket ship that Red Bull had and the rocket ship that McLaren currently has, cars were way less balanced here. I mean, you had different engines, you had completely different chassis, it was all very, very strange and unbalanced, and I don't think that was a bad thing. It allowed the engineers to get more creative. That's kind of been regulated out of F1, and whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, I do think these cars are at the very least a joy to drive. Although, admittedly, it's about code browns every couple of corners, because it's insane. Now, you may notice we are actually back onto what would be considered the normal Interlagos layout. Mostly normal, at least. There's a few differences in corner profile, but basically, we're kind of chilling. This is normal Interlagos, albeit different curbs and scenery and so on and so forth. None other than Carlos Ruderman putting in the fastest lap. He's also in P1, so he's got plenty of clean air and space to move. We are still trying to hunt down none other than, well, James Hunt. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to James Hunt him, but we'll see. Coming down to braking for turn 1. The AI are slow through turn 1, which gives me a slight edge. And I believe they're a little bit sluggish through turn 2 as well. Although I might be as well if I go off here, but we're fine, just about making the most of the track. We're in P12, I'm going to be honest. No clue how point scoring worked in this F1 era. Don't know what the points were like. I'm just going to pretend it works like modern F1, so I'd love to get into top 10. You just have to be so careful on the throttle, it's just this constant feathering, because the car will just so easily get out from under you. In really any stage of the corner. Under braking, who knows, it might just get unstable. Out of the corner, definitely, you get too soon on the throttle and it will bite. But there's really any point where the car could decide to kick out from under you, and then it's your job to fix it. And as someone who is not a very skilled driver, I don't fix it. I just end up in the grass, or in the barrier. Oh, I might have outbraked myself. We might be fine. We're fine. Actually, taking that corner kind of okay, apart from, well, the lockup. We're just about managing to keep these other folks at bay, in part due to their battling, but that might be about to change if we keep oversteering like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm driving really sloppily, but commentating at the same time is hard, if you can forgive me. These cars are so ridiculous to drive. I mean, it's just just a constant exercise in perfect throttle control and steering and braking. Because again, you don't got TC or ABS, or you don't got nothing. I'll give them one thing, these cars sound real pretty for the ears. I could listen to that noise all day, every day, injected into my veins. I mean, I honestly think these are some of the funnest F1 cars to drive, because they're not quite as unstable as the 60s ones were, but they're not, like, as on rails as modern F1 cars are. I don't love driving modern F1 cars. I think they're really cool. Like, I'm not one of those people who, like, get super attached to, like, the way it was. But I mean, I do think they're a bit big, and they sound a little funny, and most importantly, they're just so on rails that I just don't like to drive them. I think it all being downforce and there being no play in the rear, no rotation, it just feels off. I understand, you know, it's the way to make the car fast, and so of course it's going to be how it naturally evolves, as technology does. But there is something to be praised about these cars in particular. Definitely don't want to hit that curb on the outside, that's certain death. Jody Scheckter is really, really looking at me. Really looking at my rear wing, getting very familiar with it. We're just gonna have to hope they don't get past me. They are definitely looking for it, but I believe I am about equal on raw pace, if not slightly behind. And of course, Jody is having to deal with Jack Lafitte. I will say, it's really hard to drive these things as precisely as you do with some of the modern race cars, at least for me personally. With the GT3, they're so easy to drive on a base level that you can focus on all of your fancy things like, you know, trail braking and rotation, and not getting overtaken. Please don't overtake me. No. God damn it. You can focus on all of that and really, like, get your lap times down. With this, I don't see myself being able to drive super precise. I honestly think it's just gonna be surviving. I don't even have specific braking points because there's no meter markers on this track. You don't get the 50 and 100 boards like you do in modern day. Gonna try and get a good exit here, and we definitely don't, just fully oversteering. God damn it. We're now... Oh god! Ooh. I was about to say we're now in front of Jack, but I don't think we're gonna be for long. I'm gonna move defensive here. He can take the outside if he wants to, and he's not gonna. Down into fourth for turn one, carry as much speed as you possibly dare to, and we might get back around Jody. Oh, if we don't screw this up, which we totally did. Just running wide, a little bit of understeer, and Jody's gonna be back off into the sunset, I think. I don't think... Oh, as wow, we just got completely done on the outside. I don't think the six-wheel design stuck around for a large amount of time. I don't know particularly when they retired it, but I think it was pretty quickly. Oh god, oh, big snap of oversteer there. We do manage to keep it kind of in a straight line, or at least on the black stuff. Those downshift noises are so beautiful. I mean, I'm surprised that I'm even able to keep up. I'm not too displeased with my driving, even though it is a little sloppy, I'll fully admit that. Oh god, no, 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 no! Oh! And we've gone completely across the track. Okay. We don't want to go into incoming traffic. Please, 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 get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. Our worst nightmares have become reality. We are now P21. We're about to be P22 as Jochen Mass comes behind us. We might be fine because, again, we're really solid through turn one. These things are just so riveting to drive. They're just really, really fun. Even just a hot lap of these things is a workout. Forget anything about racing them, and I truly cannot fathom how anyone would have the nards to do this in real life. I cannot imagine sitting in one of these things and going fully wheel to wheel with people. No! I swear to God, that corner, I knew it was going to catch me out eventually. I just didn't expect it to be then. Oh, this is about to become a hot lapping simulator, unfortunately. I don't think I'm going to be making up too many other positions. Mario Andretti is 43 seconds behind, so I hope that we're not going to make enough of a mistake to be seeing him anytime soon. I need to remember, because it seems to be my arch nemesis at the moment, don't go flat through the last corner. I'm used to doing that in F1 in modern era because, I mean, it's so easy to go flat. The cars are planted to the ground like there's about 10 times more gravity than normal. But of course here, it is just you in the car and kind of raw oversteer. And the cars will run a lot wider on a lot of different corners. That being said, we did get a good run through turns 1 and 2. We'll see if we can continue this trend and maybe make it back up to Jochen Mass. I think that's his name, I think that's how you pronounce it. Once you get into the rhythm of things, these things aren't actually terrible to drive. I mean, they're still pretty scary. We can see our friend Maas there, on the other side of the 180. I'll catch him, I swear. I'm just kidding, I probably won't. Carlos Ruderman has been having a fantastic race, if I must say. He is a whole bunch in the lead, with a very comfy gap. Me, on the other hand, am having a pretty terrible day in my six-wheeled monstrosity. Although I say that, that's only in the perspective of a racing driver and not as a sim racer. Because as a sim racer, by God am I having fun. These cars are some of my favorites, if I'm being honest. I'm having such a blast just ripping this thing around the track. I'm even having a blast when spinning, which is good, because that's happening a lot. Mario Andretti is now 17 seconds behind. I don't know what's happened there. I didn't think I was driving that slow, but maybe I am. Then again, Jochen Maas is 20 seconds ahead. So we're about equal on both sides in our little no man's land here. One thing I will say is this would have been a lot more immersive if I had an H pattern shifter. I don't for a few reasons. One, because they're expensive, but also there's really no way to affix it to my desk, because the way it should be, the location that the shifter should be, would be directly in my armrest. So, not particularly practical. If anyone knows how I could set it up any other way, then I am so open for suggestions. And also, what shifter should I buy? The leader's on the final lap, and we're going to be following suit soon. I promise that we don't do anything too stupid. This might not be the most interesting thing to watch spectator-wise, but I mean, good lord, this has been such an enjoyable experience for me, not to gush over these cars too much. Also, just a really big shout out to the modders. This is ACL that does these mods, and they're all just high quality, free, fun to drive. They have all sorts of fun vintage cars. The cars that I used in the 60s video were made by the same team, or at least you found them on the same website. These guys are truly amazing at what they do. It's just quality all around. One lap left as we tick down the clock of our time in our little Tyrell P34. See if we can put in any good lap as a little send-off. Well, probably not like that if we go that wide onto turn 2. Alan Jones, of all people, putting in the fastest lap with a 2-minute 43. Some ridiculous pace from him. And I do wonder if he'll start catching up to both of us before I make it to the checkered flag. I don't think so. He is 15 seconds behind. That'd be quite the lofty goal for him. But if we do that, maybe not. Oh, of course, there was always going to be one more spin. Kind of has to be, it's tradition. And that's going to be Mario Andretti much closer to us than we would have liked. P22 of Mario Andretti now looming behind us ominously, wanting to pick up one final position before he finishes the race. And I would of course like to clutch onto the last of my 21 places. Only one lap left, or really only a half a lap, and I'm sure I can hold on until then. And then this race is over. Could have shifted down to third there, though. We do get a poor exit compared to Andretti. But I think we're going to be just fine. We just can't do anything too stupid. And then we're going to be a-okay. A little bit of oversteer there, kind of spooky. You can even see Alan Jones in the background, really fighting his way just to get to the back of us. I'm not sure his efforts are going to be rewarded, though. As generally speaking, I think we have a procession going here, although I do go slightly wide, which may give Andretti the exact thing he needs. And I think we're going to cling on to it. He doesn't seem particularly interested in going for any huge moves, but he might have one handed to him on a silver platter, and he pulls out of that one too. I think he might have a slightly worse engine than I do, because it seems to be that on exit he just struggles immensely. A few more corners to go over this one, over the crest. It's going to be a race to the finish line, and oh, we lose traction. He might get around us. Oh god. We're not going to lose another position to Alan Jones, but we do lose one to Mario Andretti on the last corner as we oversteer out of there. It was a good race, though. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun. I'll leave the mod link in the description. And I'm going to go give a love trap to our competitor, flip upside down, die tragically, and give you the outro. I had a great time. Hope you did too watching. Peace out.